Hey, friends. If you've been loving the conversations we have here on the All in My Head podcast, and you're looking for a way to ground your thoughts, reflect more deeply, or just make space for yourself in the chaos, I've created something for you. My very own journals are now available on Amazon. Whether it's the gratitude journal to help you focus on the good, especially on the hard days, or the Mind Unwind journal, a space to release, reset, and realign, these were made with you in mind, my thoughtful, deep feeling, always reflecting listeners. Just head to Amazon and search Gratitude, Mind Unwind Journal, or my name, Jenny Jimenez-Sullivan, or check the link in the show notes to grab your copy. It's simple, intentional, and ready to meet you wherever you are. Listen to the All in My Head podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Please, allow me to show you something.
Welcome back to the All in My Head podcast. I'm Jenny, and I am your host, and you have landed here today for the first episode of Season 3. And this episode is episode 31, and it is called New Year, Same Me. Kind of. Every January, we are told this is the year we become a brand new person. New habits, new mindset, new body, new everything. But if I'm honest, I didn't wake up on January 1st as a completely different human. I woke up as me, just with a little more clarity and a few more lessons learned, and maybe a deeper sense of what I'm no longer willing to carry. So today we're talking about growth that doesn't erase you, the kind that honors who you've been while gently shaping who you're becoming. As we start talking about this, there's always this pressure of new year, new me. We hear that everywhere. We see it on social media. We hear about it from friends and these challenges that people post about. And everywhere you look, there's a message screaming, reinvent yourself, level up, glow up, leave behind the old you. And while there's nothing wrong with change, right? Change is good. Change means growth. Sometimes that pressure makes it feel like who you were last year wasn't enough. But here's the truth that I'm sitting with this year. I survived things last year that once felt impossible. The version of me from last year, she showed up. She showed up in big ways for herself, for her husband, her kids, her friends, family. She kept going, even when it felt impossible. She learned things because, as we know, every moment is a teaching moment and a moment to learn. And she rested when she could and cried when she needed to. I don't want to erase her. I want to thank her because she is both stronger and softer than she has ever been. And I am so proud of her for that. But what's staying the same? I'm still someone who feels deeply. I am an empath, and I have embraced that more now in this part of my life than ever. I don't look at it in shame anymore. I honor it. I'm still someone who overthinks occasionally. but I utilize tools that I have and have learned, but I don't shame myself when I'm overthinking anymore. I'm someone who finds meaning in stories, who believes wholeheartedly that words can heal. I'm someone who needs quiet to reset and laughs hard with people I love. And I still care deeply. I still get my feelings hurt. I still dream big, even when I'm scared, especially when I'm scared. And quite honestly, I dream even bigger now than I did when I was younger. And I decided that none of these are a flaw. It's my foundation. It is the foundation of who I am. And growth doesn't mean you become unrecognizable. Sometimes it means that you finally accept yourself without apology. And that was a big one for me. Accepting all the parts of me, flaws and all, without apology. You shouldn't change yourself because you think that's what the world wants or needs. Standing authentically in who you are is a superpower. But what is shifting in me, right? That kind of part. New year, new me, kind of. Because something is different. This year, I'm protecting my energy more intentionally. I'm saying no without a full explanation because no is no. If you don't want to do something, you don't want to be a part of something, or you've decided to take space or set boundaries from something or someone, you can just say no. And you don't need to give a full explanation on that. And I'm letting things be unfinished without self judgment. Everything isn't something that has to go out into the world. Everything isn't something that needs to be finished, and that's okay. That was a hard one for me. You know, if I put it on my list and I didn't check it off, that was something I would judge in the past. And sometimes there are projects that will be unfinished, maybe not forever, maybe just for now. But either way, I'm not judging it. And choosing alignment over approval. I don't have to be in it all, especially if it doesn't feel aligned or good within my whole being. And I'm listening to my intuition sooner rather than later. My gut instinct has always been strong. I mean, even as a young child, when something didn't feel good, my stomach and my gut instinct just knew it. And I could and would be sick to my stomach over something, but, I didn't always trust it. And I went with the group or the crowd or what was best for other people. And, it usually didn't turn out well. So I'm not chasing everything or everyone anymore. I'm choosing what actually feels like me, what is for me. And that's a shift. It's subtle, but it's so very powerful. Two of my words for 2026 are intentionality and build. And I have a host of other words and even promises from God or the universe or the higher source that are part of this foundation for 2026. But intentionality and build are my two big words for this year. I'm pursuing the things and relationships that feel intentional to me and for me. And I'm building a body of work that I'm proud of, a foundation to grow my voice more intentionally, the home I've always dreamed of, and a community that has that same vision and desire. And This year is a pivotal moment in establishing what the season will feel like and look like. It isn't rushed, but it's always on time. And I think in that, we just need to give ourselves permission to evolve at our own pace. I've talked about in past episodes that, I wish I had known sooner. I wish I had gone and done something differently, but also in that same respect, we don't grow unless we have these lessons. And yes, when you know better, you do better. But also, if you haven't gone through a struggle and if you haven't sat in it and picked it apart and figured out why it was happening to you, you're not going to learn from that. And so, truthfully, everything, as I said, is coming to me in the right time. So, giving ourselves permission to evolve at our own pace is vital. If you're listening and thinking, I want to grow, but I don't want to lose myself, let me tell you this. You're allowed to evolve, and you're allowed to do it slowly. You're allowed to keep parts of yourself that you love. You're allowed to change your mind mid-process. You're allowed to rest without quitting. So this year doesn't need to be louder, but it might need to be truer. Oftentimes, and especially as artists and creatives and writers, podcasters, and just humans, we feel this pressure to produce. And we also feel the pressure to keep parts of us that others needed and may need. And we stay in these roles and these spaces where we don't fit for the sake and for the happiness of others. And this year, we are not sacrificing our happiness for everyone else. You are allowed to do what makes you feel good. You are allowed to take up space and live authentically without guilt. You are allowed to put yourself first. And that's a big part of what I'm stepping into in this season in 2026 and moving forward into the years to come. I'm stepping into the work that I've been called to do. I know that my writing and my words and all that entails is my calling. It's my purpose. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's the way that I'm showing up differently this year. I'm showing up differently in my work. I talked about it since episode 1. For a long time, I've been writing quietly and I've been creating behind the scenes and holding ideas close, waiting for the right time. And I say that in quotes, right? The right time. But this year, I'm choosing to pursue what's been nudging me my whole life. I'm actively stepping into publishing my books, not as a dream, as a decision. Stories, journals, words meant to sit with you in the quiet moments. The kind of writing that doesn't rush healing, but it walks alongside it. Because I'm not the only one who has gone through these things. And it is time to put that out into the world and allow others to feel seen and held. But I'm also leaning into consulting and editing, helping other writers and podcasters and creators shape their stories without losing their voice. Because I know how vulnerable it is to hand someone your work. But I also know how powerful it is when someone truly listens to what you're trying to say. And teaching what I've learned about storytelling, the creative process, and using your voice even and especially when it shakes. And it's not from a place that I've arrived, but from a place of I'm walking this too. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finally allowing myself to be seen doing what I've always done, telling stories, holding space, and helping others trust their words. That's the kind of part that I'm talking about. Same heart, same love for stories, just more courage to claim it out loud. I am more driven and focused because I've finally learned to set those boundaries and to not allow negative thoughts and people tell me that I cannot. I finally believe in myself wholly and fully. That part has been a long time in the making, and I will never allow myself to fall backwards. Believing and loving yourself, believing in and loving yourself fully transforms everything in your life. And the change is almost immediate, and it's staggeringly beautiful. And in that, letting go of others' expectations of who you are and should be is necessary. It's absolutely necessary and vital in your growth. I haven't changed. My heart is and will always be the same. So maybe this year, 2026, isn't about becoming someone new. Maybe it's about becoming more honest, more grounded, more at home in yourself. Your body, your mind should feel like home. New year, same me, just a little wiser, a little braver, and a hell of a lot more intentional. Because intentionality is the quiet decision to live on purpose, not by default. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love for you to drop me a message in fan mail, on my Instagram at allinmyhead_podcast. But I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need the permission to grow gently this year. Please also take the time to subscribe to the podcast and to become a supporter. That helps me to grow this vision even bigger than I can dream it. You all are the dream weavers. And as always, thank you for sitting with me in my thoughts. Take care of your heart every day. And don't be afraid of becoming whatever you're becoming at your own pace. Thank you for listening to the All in My Head podcast. I hope you have the best and most beautiful day.